Looks like we made it here in one piece.
With battle well waged, only waging of words and a feast remain.
You want dinner? Is that what you're saying?
It feels kinda surreal to make...
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? Another fine day for journeying, huh?
Tell me, do you ever find yourself tiring of the vagabond existence?
It's better than being enslaved, that's for sure. I get to pick my own destination, for starters. You don't get those luxuries as a slave.
Shackle a man's feet, and you put a clamp on his heart as well.
Then there was the food. Gross slop that left you in a permanent state of hunger. Ugh, you wouldn't believe the things I ate to keep from starving. What about you? This must all sound pretty alien to someone who used to be a lord.
Is that a hint of interest in my past I detect?
I guess that's one way to put it.
Well, certainly starvation was never a concern I had to contend with. The day-to-day grind was largely taken care of for me. I even had help getting in and out of clothes. All that was required of me was standing still while looking solemn.
That's quite the downgrade you've made. It's a wonder you don't sound more bitter.
This might surprise you, but I actually don't find our current situation all that disagreeable. My own hardships paled in comparison to yours, granted. But life as a lord came laden with its own restrictions. Forgive me. Such complaints must sound like feeble extravagances to a Danon.
True, Renin opulence doesn't feature high on my sympathy list. And again, yours isn't exactly a normal case.
I suppose it's not. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder how much easier life would have been without the trappings of nobility.
You really mean that?
Pay me no heed. Naught but the ramblings of a privileged eccentric. Whatever my past, it has led to my being here. That is all the reality I need concern myself with. Next time, what say we discuss relics? Shall we get moving?
We've reached our destination.
Oh, just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renin rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renin starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegus.
Lenegus? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renin invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. There's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way.
Hmm?
All right.
I guess...
Hmm.
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Dan and owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby. Whoo!
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors, and his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels? Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile.
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's...
Right, here goes!
Water! Hear my call!
wide open!
It won't escape me!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast!
You picked the wrong fight!
It's a duel of the arts!
Where are you going?
If it's in the sky, it's mine! I've got it! Let him mark me down!
All yours! You picked the wrong fight! I'm ready! My turn! I'm not going!
The enemy heals us too.
No see about that!
You'll get it! Severing wind!
Your odds are really incredible.
It's thanks to you I can use them.
Then I promise I'll always be here.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I...
Astral energy!
Say no more!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
You're mine!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
aim for the bright area on their back.
You're mine! I'm not done!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here!
You're finished!
No armor! Stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
I can carve through
The flame inside me, yours!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Over. I'm expert coming through!
You picked the wrong
Let me
fight!
help. Confiscated! First aid!
Raging Ring of Storm! Win!
More where that came from!
Stardust!
Ice Tornado! There you go! Don't let up! Radiant Whip! Annihilate! Air Thrust! Flying up fire!
Infernal Torrent! Sword Lane Alpha! Win!
Light Astral Dance in the wind!
No further. I'm merely doing what I can.
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
The flame inside me, yours!
Now! Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky! Looks like some solid equipment.
Huh.
Lost!
I'm not done!
I'm being first! Lunar Harassment!
You're on! Ether!
Mega Ray!
You're mine!
We're high as thick as armor!
I'll take you all on! Stardust!
Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Down on the ground!
Here I come!
Dating fire!
Severing Wind! You're on!
I'll smash you!
Denied!
Here I come!
Begin!
Someone keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Now!
Get behind me.
Got it!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Strike! Catapult! Stardust!
Scorpion, come on here!
Ignite!
Now! Out of ammo!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Dance in the wind!
Now!
To the fray!
Will not count!
Air thrust!
Anything in armor is
Came
all
between
mine!
heaven and earth! Now!
More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much. Retreat if you know what's good for you.
I'm not done!
I shall ensure you survive
You're
this.
on! It's over!
Don't mind if I do!
Strike!
Can't get out of this!
You're pissed off!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Take it! An astral...
Now, astral energy.
Say no more! Shot!
Let the marksman handle this.
Win!
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
That's not to give me any idea.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Easter!
Annihilation.
Take this!
Annihilation.
I'm not done!
Cool, I'm ready to get out of the way.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! Come and face me!
Waterfall.
All back in there to defend me.
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be!
I'm ready.
Severing wind! Start up!
Between heaven and earth. A wailing beauty of lightning.
Pissed off!
Divine.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Gemini Alpha.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara. Here's a healing art.
Take this!
Thanks, Shio.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Easter!
Freeze Lancer.
Take this! Severing wind!
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
That's not to give me any idea.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was Take this!
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
I'm ready!
Xion, astral energy, full throttle! Not too shabby, if I do say so myself.
Far more than the power I can conjure alone, that's for sure.
Was that a compliment? My face is starting to sting, and my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink.
Hi, Hoodle!
Here I come! Severing wind!
Gale Force!
The flame inside is yours!
Fluidity of your movement.
Are those rocks? Wind?
Catapult!
Air, go for the weak point!
Mirage! Here I come!
Ranger!
Save you!
Pissed off!
Now!
Smoke! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Well, looky here!
Coming through!
1,000 gales! Carry it as well!
Begin!
Mirage! Ignite! Take this! You're not done!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Mirage!
In a bind?
A wailing
Flying
beauty of
freaks!
lightning!
Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Ruin Gap! Now,
Stay from the way!
I don't know what I'll do without you.
Ruin Gap!
Perhaps now isn't
I'm
true.
ready!
Right?
Hey! Blow them away!
Illuminate the
Not a
dark!
chance!
Reflect
Holy
on thy
glitter,
sins.
breathing
They
storm!
smite.
Mirage!
A chain between heaven and earth! Mine!
Stardust!
A wailing beauty of lightning! Arctic for do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A merry destruction.
There's still more to go!
Ready and ready!
Can't
Sword Rain Alpha! Win! Mirage! Sword Rain Alpha! Eat this! You're mine!
Ranger!
Win!
Reflect on thy sins. They smite with the
Severing
lightning
wind!
blade.
Stardust!
Where are you going? Magic is there!
Can't get out of this!
Freeze now! Here's a healing art!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! I'll heal you all!
My turn!
Dance in the
Soaring
wind!
Light Spear!
Air thrust! Healing storm between heaven
I
and
can
earth!
carve through armor!
A wailing art expert
Looks
coming
like you
through!
came
Do
to
it!
rescue again.
You need to be...
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! A comfortable win.
Guess I misread the landing.
I won't forgive you!
Ignite! Sever and win!
No more playing nice!
Take this!
The flashing part's their weak point!
Damn it! Win! This is looking good.
Far enough! Glacial Spear! Here's the evil! Freeze Lancer!
Breath of life.
You're mine! Win! Stardust!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Searing flame! Reload! Sleep now! I'll heal you all! Together!
Sever and win!
Here, let me help!
I'm not done on the ground! Okay, here I go.
It's time. Armor won't save you.
Stardust! Hold nothing back! It's time! You're on! Now I can let loose.
Annihilation! Mega Ray! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
You're on!
Can't get out of this.
Sword Rain at
Leave the charges to me.
Elusive deity! Sleep now! Let's get you all tucked away!
Breath of life.
Ready and
Feel
win!
my weary
Enough
compassion.
today!
Back into the fray! Alright, this is it!
I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha!
Radiant Flood!
Win!
Drinking Orb! Lightning
Where
condemned!
you go?
Stardust!
I'm ready! Dream. This one's got your name on it!
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
Right there! Stardust! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! You're mine! Double demon! Rending you apart!
I'll be saving this one!
Everyone's still in one piece?
We got some good equipment.
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Strike! Sever and win! Come one, come all!
Armor won't save you.
Here I come!
In here!
You're on!
Gone far enough.
It's
Get
over!
on in there with the others!
Resonate
I'm a
with the
tornado!
Sever and win!
Plasmite.
Bobby on
Can't
the
get out
darkest
of
skies!
I'm not done!
Fonzie!
Win! This one's all mine! Mirage! Burn!
Power of water!
Tornado
In here!
drive.
Back into the fray! I'll be saving this one! Firmament Blender!
Here I come!
Down on
Sever
the
and
ground.
win! Stardust!
Glacial Spear! Here's
Mirage!
evil!
You're mine.
Freeze Lightning Orb! Dance in the wind! Air Thrust! Photon Flash! Blah 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 magic!
Where are you going?
Holy Land! Blah blah blah!
Take this!
Here, let me help you!
Escape!
Arch Steel Fang! Don't mind if I do! Hold on to your arm! Here I come! And again!
Shattering
Pieces. Attack time.
Lightning
Double
Orb!
Demon Fang!
I'm
ready.
Astral Energy! Full throttle!
A flawless victory.
No escape!
Naturally!
Double Demon Fang!
Here's the evil! Not in your dreams!
You picked the wrong fight!
Illusion!
Double Demon Fang!
Down on the ground.
Holy Land!
You can't lay a finger on me!
I'm ready.
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I've been doing really great lately.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Coming through!
Bronze and red! Car!
Severing wing!
In a bind?
This one's mine!
Take this! Burn in hell!
Sleep now!
Take it off! Take it! Double demon strike!
Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A merry distraction.
Here I come!
There's still more to go!
Stardust!
Far beyond the darkest sky!
You are too human.
To stop you dying?
Right.
Rending you apart! You're mine!
Bloody hell! Now!
On your side! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Discourteous, aren't you?
May 1,000 gamers
Now we're not.
You're mine! Sever flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Not today!
Amazing. The flashing part's their weak point.
No further!
Our expert!
Mirage!
Take it!
Win!
And again! Magic is Mega Ray!
Double demon fang!
Now you see what I can do!
Mega Ray! Forward!
I'm ready!
Annihilate! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Freeze! I'm ready!
Win!
Burn!
Take this! Try hard, my turn! I'm not done! Take this!
Bloody holiday!
There you go! Don't let up!
Mirage! Try this! Infernal Torrent! I'm not done!
I never miss! Not in your dreams!
Here I come! Double demon fang!
Raging Cascade!
Double demon fang!
Radiant here!
In a bind?
Blah, blah, blah. Sleep now. This'll come in handy.
You picked the wrong fight!
Lightning control! Thunder blow!
Double demon fang!
Burning strike! Laser spear! Now here's the evil!
Do!
Born up! Freeze laser!
Radiant
Take this!
Magic is
Annihilation!
escape my judgment! In here!
No art being interrupted.
In your deck, Doreen.
Then tonight's meal is on you.
Here I go!
We've got
Double demon fang! I owe you one! Double demon fang!
What would I do now?
Not today!
Lightning conjunct!
Take this!
Thunder blade!
No escape!
Illuminate the dark!
Severing wing! Stardust!
I'm all stopped up! Annihilation! Annihilation! Mega ray! Far beyond the darkest
Can't get out of
Try
sight!
harder!
Call upon thee! If it's in the sky, it's
I'm
mine!
not done!
I never miss! I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Take this! No escape! Severing wing!
Do it!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left. Tion,
Right.
astral energy, full throttle! A flawless victory.
Illuminate
it naturally.
Now,
Real well. Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! Another one down.
Your skills are admirable. Let's see what you've got.
Illuminate the dark! Not in your dreams!
I'll face you.
Soaring like a bear!
Snake is the abyssal deep. Clear for a path.
Reload! Raging Cascade!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed wall.
Mirage!
On your knees.
Win!
No further.
Hold on to your art.
Take it!
Here I come!
Double demon fang!
Do it!
The flame jump!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Let's see what you've got.
you're mine!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Try harder! Not a chance!
None shall escape my justice!
Soaring like bird!
Sleep now!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
There!
Where are you going?
Stop! Severing wind! Stardust!
Here, let me help!
Mirage! Sword Rain Alpha!
Confiscated!
No escape! Severing wind!
Chinese supernova!
Mirage!
Up and in! Let's go! What would I do with steel?
Take it!
I'll be saving
Severing wind!
Annihilation! Alright, it's showtime! In here!
Wind! This one's all mine!
Blah 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 magic!
You're mine!
The one blah blah blah
Carve through
magic!
Take it! I'm not done!
In here! By the
Stardust!
I'll be saving
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed wall.
Do it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! My exploits are bearing fruit.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially...
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily.
Go no further!
Ready and ready! I'm not done!
I'll blind you with the shot!
Can't be strong! Here's evil! I've taken too much damage!
Show thy mystic mercy.
I can feel the
The flashing part's their weak point!
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
Don't let anyone put you out. What are friends for if we can't depend on one another?
You're
Not
right.
today!
I'll bear that in mind.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Take it! Go!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
You're mine! Struck!
Down on the ground.
Soda!
There you go!
You!
Arch Shield! I'm all stuffed up! Firmament Slinger!
Now! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed.
Out of our way!
Anything in armor is all mine!
You're mine!
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
You're mine!
Don't mind if I do!
Severing wing!
Can you take it?
Soaring light spear!
Piercing Ranger! Freeze Laser! One more time!
Wind! Soda!
Purge Malevolence! Arcane Waterfall!
In a bind?
I'm not
suffer
done!
inside.
Do it! Leave the
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Now!
Down on the ground! Where are you going?
I'm not soaring blade inside me! Yours to be let free! No escape! You're finished!
Heal Force!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Now you see what I can do!
Coming through!
Catapult!
Heal!
Double Phoenix Knife!
All yours, Kisara.
Not a chance! You're mine! It's over! You're mine! Win! Soda!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Here's evil!
I'm not done!
Feel! Get out of here, you are!
Burn!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that
No, thanks for the healing. Better to watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
Flare Tornado! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Photon Blast!
Soaring Light Spear! Mirage!
I'm ready! Illuminated Astral Energy!
Say no more!
I think I'm getting stronger.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on.
Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogles?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Wind! Prepare to be sealed! Ignite! Stardust!
Where are you going?
In a bind?
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
Stardust!
Not in your dreams.
Glacial Spear.
Here I come! I'm not done!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Severing wind! Hit
Illuminate the dark.
Stardust!
Down on the ground. I can ensure you survive this.
Eat dirt!
Sonic Spear!
Stardust!
A chain between heaven
Take
and earth.
this!
A wailing dancing of lightning. Not in your dreams.
You're mine! Now activity! Wind! Stardust!
All disasters made one. Come forward.
You're mine! Wind!
Eagle Ray!
Here I come! No further! Wind!
Here's a healing art. Got it. Now's our
You
chance.
picked the wrong fight!
Deity!
You're mine! I'm not done! Wind!
Magic is there.
Stardust!
Take it! Dance on the wind! I'll smash you!
I'll heal you all.
Take this!
Raging storm. Healing
Here I come!
Bloody
Healing flame of fury.
Stardust!
Negative
Soaring light spear!
Bloody
Ah!
Burning strike.
It's on!
In here.
Here I come!
Mystic Mercy!
Wind! Stardust!
Now.
Juggling! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed
Severing
block.
wind! Stardust!
Sorry,
Ignite!
I didn't want to cut you out.
What our friends for
Here I
can
come!
depend on.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Stardust!
No further!
A thrilling performance.
Magic is there. Annihilation.
This one's mine.
Holy land. Don't mind if
Show
I
thy
do.
mystic mercy!
You get the
You
gist.
picked the wrong fight!
Divine instant.
Okay, I'm in your deck,
Then tonight's meal is on you.
You've got it.
Here's evil. Magic is there. Feel.
Now you see what I can do!
Get on it.
Wait.
Here I go. There you go. Don't let up.
Take
Let's
this!
go.
Crush!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Sleep now.
In a bind?
You're mine! Wind! Stardust!
Raging storm.
Not today!
Whoa, hey, one at a time. It looks like you got this one covered.
Stalagmite!
Freezing
Onward!
Here I come!
Here's evil.
Wind!
Ice prism.
Stardust!
Freeze lancer.
Armor won't save you!
This one's mine.
No
Go
escape.
time flash. I never miss.
You're
Ready.
finished! Soaring light spear! I'm ready! Juggling! In an instant! Impact block!
Here come more!
You'll just have to keep fighting.
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Here, astral energy.
Say no more! Got that!
Well done.
Take this!
Negative
Not today!
Reflect.
I'm not done!
Smite with blackened blade!
Sleep now.
Juggling! In an instant! Impact block!
My
Freezing
turn!
storm.
Wind!
I'll blind you with a shot!
Stardust!
Dance on the wind! Anything in armor is all mine! Take this!
Now.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
My turn!
This one's all mine!
Flame of fury. A wailing dancing of lightning.
I'm ready!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Will this help?
Sure!
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
Reinforcements incoming! Not
All
a
I
problem!
can do is cause havoc and destruction. Ice prison. Not on my watch. Shield.
Deity!
Severing wind!
A chain between earth and earth.
Double demon fang!
A wailing dancing of lightning.
I'm ready! Juggling! In an instant! Impact block! Not a chance!
Luna blast.
No escape!
Lightning orb. Whoa, hey, one at a time. Lunar corruption. Get on in there. This one's mine.
Soaring right spear!
Don't mind if I do.
Breath of life. Heal my weird... Do you require a hand?
Raging storm. This isn't ideal. Hold on to your heart. Here I come. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Let me help.
No further.
Here I come!
Not on my watch.
Soaring right... Is this it?
Okay.
Lightning
my
again. One more. Here. Resuscitation. Spirit, where are you going?
I've healed myself.
I'll bring you back from death to bit.
Heal my weary companion. From beyond, imbue
heal
this
you all.
vanquished soul with love and resuscitation.
Healing circle.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Now let loose.
Not today!
I'll heal you all. Lightning orb.
Now you see what I can do!
Healing circle.
Wait!
Thanks so much. In here. Mega ray. Well, this is
This one's all mine! Eat dirt!
Thunder field.
Mirage!
It's showtime.
Soda!
Can't get out of this.
Feel radiant not in your dreams. Here.
Now you see what I can do!
I'm out of ammo. Illuminate the dark. Transform the holy glitter. Holy land. The chain between heaven and earth.
Yours to be
A
left free!
wailing no more playing nice. Lunar
Sleep
corruption.
Ah! Burn in hell!
Annihilation.
Here I come!
Lightning
Win.
here. A banana. Radiant blood. Here.
Elusive deity
Here I
can't
come.
get out of this.
Blazing storm. Not in your dreams.
I'll smash you! On the ground!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Catapult.
Here I come!
Do it!
Wind!
Treasure!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Leave the chargers to me!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
Bestow thy
I
mystic
can't lose!
mercy.
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it. Just
Alfred!
watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down! Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
So I still had room to grow.
Hey, is that it over there?
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Shion? Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own? Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time. The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Xion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
they will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Xion!
Open.
Living for the sake of dying is
It's no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in, then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for...
Huh? Why are you... It feels kinda surreal to make people happy with...
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
I've been thinking about what we discussed earlier. His reasons might not have been pure, but in the end, Dohalim still made Elda Menencia a place where Danans and Renins can coexist. I thought everyone would welcome that change, with open arms. I took pride in what we had without putting in the work to truly solidify it. After so much failure, do you think I even have the right to pursue my ideals?
It doesn't matter what I think. You've already found your answer, haven't you?
I know what I want to say, but I can't help but wonder if I'm being selfish.
Everybody makes mistakes in life, Kisara. Everybody. It's what you do afterwards that matters. But you already knew that, right?
Yeah. I won't look away from the world any longer. I'll do my best to confront reality, so that we don't lose anyone else, ever again. More to the point, Dohalim needs someone who can push him forward. I think we both get lost in our sorrow too easily when we focus on the past.
If we see that happening, we'll set him straight. Don't worry. We'll look out for both of you. I have to say, though, if you turned out this well modeling yourself after Miguel, he really must have been a great man.
What, you didn't believe me before? I'm pretty sure I've been going on about him since I joined up. If you need more convincing, I've got plenty more stories about him.
Maybe another time.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything? Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.